Hello everyone, this is Gayle, and I'm going to do a demo today on the RFCrafts cutter set number 32, which is for bales. And I have never used this before, but thought it would be an awesome thing to try. And let me make sure I've got my straw here. I pulled out some things that I have made in some of my classes. This is, I'm not sure what that was, probably just I'm not really sure, but anyway, I've rolled out some clay, I've rolled out some black, because these items would probably look good with black. I rolled out some gold to do my little Christmas tree, and I pulled out the faux knitting that I did, and I'm going to put a silver bale on that one. So these are the 5 that come in the set, and I've never used them, so I don't know which ones would be best for which project. So I think I'm going to start, let me start with the silver since it's like right here. And I think I'm going to use this one, which has the scalloped edges. And I'm going to cut this out. Now these are plastic cutters, so you might have to wiggle them a little bit. And this one ended up sticking inside the cutter, which does happen. But what I do is I will pull out my large ball stylus and just push it out. Now you can probably see, or maybe not, let me put it on a card. Probably see that it's got some few little rough edges. I'm dropping things. But all I'm going to do is take a little rubber tipped tool, and I'm just going to rub around it. Now if you don't have a rubber tipped tool, you can use your finger. And just smooth them out a little bit. And the only reason you have to do this is because the plastic cutters are slightly blunt here on the ends. And so when they cut, it leaves a little bit of a space in there. So I've got this cleaned up pretty good. And let me get my piece out. I'm going to move everything else out of the way. And just work on this. So because this is baked clay, and this is raw clay, I'm going to need some Bacon Bond or liquid clay, and I think I will just use my Kato liquid clay. And I'm just going to put a little bit of that. Let me come back out. I was trying to zoom in so you could see, but it's limiting my workspace. I'm going to put a little bit there and a little bit here. And I'm just going to smooth it with my finger. And I'm going to put it on the front first. And I think I'm going to just lay it right across there. Now the reason I got these straws out is because I don't want to have the bale close up on me. So I'm just going to cut a little piece of a straw. You can leave the paper on or not. And I'm going to lay it right there. And then I'm just going to fold this over. And make sure it meets the back. Wipe your excess clay off. And just make sure it's lined up the way you want it. I want to see, I'll take the paper off only because this was looking a little crooked, and I want to make sure it's not the hole that's crooked, that it was only the paper on the straw that was crooked. Yeah, that's all it was. Now if you want, I've already put this on my piece, but you could take little texture tools. Let's see what I've got up here. I don't have many. I've gotten rid of so many of my tools. But say, let's see. Let me use my ball stylus. I might put some little indentations along these scallops. And let's see, where's the next? Those are all small. And I think I'll put another row in between here of just a little bit smaller. You can decorate this any way you want. And you can take this and you can go all the way up. Might be easier to do this when it's still laying flat on your surface. I wasn't thinking about decorating when I did this. But there, I'm just going to put little dots in this one. So this one is ready to bake. Just making sure that that's straight. Okay, I've laid that on my mat in my oven. So now let's try the gold one. And this one I'm going to put on the back because this one really, you can't overlap the star because then you'd mess up your star. So what I think I'm going to do is try using one of these smaller ones on the back. So let me see what we've got. This one is really skinny. Don't know if I want to go that skinny. But maybe I will. Like I said, I've never tried these, so this is a test run for me. Didn't press that very hard. I was trying to keep it from there. I can feel it now. I can feel the plastic rubbing. So this did cut all the way. And I'll just push this out with my ball stylus. And I'll smooth the edges. Actually, I think I'm just going to use this ball stylus to smooth them as opposed to my hands. I'm trying different methods because, like I said, this is new for me. Okay, and I think I'm going to turn this one over. Let me just run my fingers over it. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and decorate it first, and let's see what happens. Now, I thought, and I probably have moved it out, I thought I had a little Christmas tree and a butterfly. There's my butterfly, but it's not my Christmas tree. So again, I'm going to try to find some texture. So let me get out my texture sheets. These are kind of big. Let me get out these sheets. I have a book full of texture. This one isn't Christmassy, but it's got tiny little bubble-like things on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spritz my cover. It's a little bit too much. Go spritz my texture sheet and find a space. There we go. And just tap the water off. And let's see if we can get this on the back of this so you can hang it as a necklace. So I've got it turned over. I'm going to add just a drop of liquid clay. And smooth it out with my fingers. Well, actually, this has to go on the other side. I'll leave that one because we want it to wrap like this. Let's wrap it. Let's cut another straw. I don't know how many of you order drinks and have the straws. Plastic straws might become quite a luxury before too long. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this together with that liquid clay and then put a spot here on the back and lay this like right here. And just kind of push this down. So now you're not going to be able to see the bail from the front, but you'll have a place where you can put a chain or a cord or something here on the back. So I really like that one. So here's another one that's ready to bake. Alright, now we're going to work with these 3 pieces here. And because this one is kind of big, I think I'm going to use the biggest cutter. Some of these you can pick up if you want and just follow along the cut, and it might help with some of the fringes that's left on the cutter, but still looks like there's a little bit. So let me just run this is smooth, so I'm just going to run my finger over it. When you don't have the little special scallops and decorations, you can do this just with your finger real easily. Let's see how this is gonna look. I think that will look nice on here. So I'm going to put a little bit of decoration on here. I may use, since these are kind of round, semi-round designs, I think I'll use the same stamp, the same texture stamp, to put some of these little round designs in it. This time I didn't spray it with water, and you can see it stuck a little bit. So again, I'm going to turn it over to the back side up, put a little bit of liquid clay. Like I say, you can use Bacon Bond, any liquid clay will work. Need a little bit more. This one's a little bit bigger than the others. I need just a little bit more clay so I can cover that whole end. And again, where'd my paper towel go? I don't know where it's probably under this. No. I lose more paper towels. And then when I go to clean up, I end up with a bunch of them here on my desk. But I don't see the one I was using, so I'll just get another one. These are the Select-A-Size, the cheapy ones I get at the grocery store. See which side looks the best, and they both look pretty good. So I'll just place this on the front. And I don't see another straw that I cut. I'll take the paper off. But I'll put a straw in there. If your clay is a little bit thicker, you may not have to do this, but this is on a number 3 because I didn't want it to be bulky. If you did it on a number 1 or number 2, they would be thicker and you probably wouldn't need the support of a straw. So there's number 3. And I may use some Perfect Pearls on this one. Now this is the Sunflower Sparkle. I was thinking this was the gold. This is the gold. And I'm just going to use my finger, tap it off, and just kind of go over this lightly. To leave the texture. Don't know if I like the gold. I should have stuck with the black. It's a little bit too bright of a gold for the piece that I've got. Because this is more yellow. But you don't know till you try. You see if I have something that I can tone it down with. I'm afraid to use too much. I'll do this on the back just to see what it looks like. Oh, that's even brighter. That's the sunflower. So maybe this wasn't the best thing to do. Got a little bit of orange. That tones it down a little bit. Better than the shiny gold. But I probably should have left it black, but I wanted to show you that you can decorate it. You don't have to stick with just your black clay. So there's another one ready to bake. Alright, now we've got this one, which is one of the pieces that I carved. I was just looking in my bin of the stuff that I've made to see what I had that I could add a bale to. And because this is oval shaped, I think I'm going to use this cutter because this one is pointed on the end. This one is rounded. I think I'm going to go with the rounded end just because this all seems really round. So let me cut this one. I want to use all of these so that you'll get an idea what these look like in case you want to order some. See, I've used those 4. So again, you just want to run your finger around the edge. It's not a big deal. It's just a little bit frayed, but that's okay. That's pretty. Now this one, I actually don't remember what I textured this with. But it looks sort of like a sandpaper one. And where is, or maybe it was this. No. But this is one of these peel and stick rubber protector things. But I like the texture on that, so I think that's what I'm going to use on this one. Turn it over. Put a little, see, these are really easy to use. And the more you use them, the easier it'll be. Like I said, this is the first time I've used them, and I'm sure the next time they will be much easier for me to use. And I will cut another piece of straw. And I'll put that across the top here. Make sure it's straight. Put the straw in there. I have a feeling I'm going to lose this straw. And I mashed the texture, so I'll just put it back in. So I think I like this one. So this is number 4. And the last one is going to be my little owl. Now you may not have one of these. This is one of my Patreon videos. And I didn't finish the back because I don't know why I didn't finish the back. I probably ought to put a layer on the back. So I'll need a little bit more black clay. Let me condition this and a little bit more clay and I'll be back. Okay, so I left a piece that I'm going to cut my bale out of, and I made another sheet that I'm going to lay my little owl on, and I'm going to use my craft knife and have it slant in. I had fun making this little owl. I got lots of good comments from my patrons that saw this video. This just gives you an idea of some of the projects that I've done and the people that donate $10 a month have access to these. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to start, usually you just have access to the video that's done starting the month that you start donating. But I think what I'm going to start doing is once somebody has contributed 3 months in a row, I'm going to give them access to all of the videos, all the Patreon videos. Just because I can. Now I'm just going to smooth these edges a little bit. Make sure nothing, I'm just, rounding this edge here. I don't want it to look square from the side. And I don't see any of it. So I'm just going to texture this. And actually, I think I'm going to use my signature stamp on it. This is something else I got from RFCrafts. It's my Got Clay stamp. And I'm going to stamp that down here at the bottom. And this was very affordable, and you can put whatever you want on there. But there's my Got Clay. And then I'm going to use this because I'm going to put it on the back. See, where's my, here it is. Try to use the biggest ball tool I've got because I don't want to leave marks on my bale. Except this one, there we go. I didn't push it down the right way. Let me press this side out. So there's this one. And I'll use my ball tool on this one to smooth it a little bit. Just showing you different ways that you can smooth this. Probably ought to get it off the wax paper for one. I think it still works better with the finger. That's the way Rhonda does it, and now I know why. She is the bomb. She's got the best cutters and the best silk screens. And I'm very fortunate to be part of her design team. Put this back over here with my other straws, although that's so little I don't know if I'll know it's even there. But I'm going to put this on here first, and I don't need liquid clay to do this part. But I think I will use the texture stamp just because it's a bird. It's an owl, but it's a bird. And this will bend up a little bit like that because it's going to go flat against the back of the owl. So I'm just going to add a little bit here. Put this on the back here and try to get it in the middle. And you see how this is sitting up. So, and it's going to leave a really nice size hole for whatever kind of cord you want to put in there. So, okay, so this is number 5. So I've done all of them. Okay. So let me go ahead and bake these, and then I'll come back and show you what they look like when they're finished. All right, this is out of the oven. They're still slightly warm, but I want to just, well, that was loose. Pull out my straws. You hear that snap? That was the straw coming loose. That one was loose. This one had some of the Deep Shine UV resin on it, and it looks fine. I was a little worried about that going into the oven. I'll have to hold on to these. I can use them again. And there we go. I got that a little crooked. But all in all, I think they did great. This one and the owl are on the back. See how you can put stuff, you know, whatever behind it. And then these were all added to the top. So if you're looking for your, you know, if you have things, you don't want to buy metal bales, which sometimes are hard to find other than the really cheap ones. Why don't you consider getting these cutters? And let me get the, I've got a folder for those cutters somewhere. This is cutter set number 32. And it's the bales. So give it a try. And how do you like my name? Got Clay. G-O-T are my initials. And I've used Got Clay for quite a while, but That's the first time I've had a stamp that said that. So I'm really excited about that too. So give it a try. This has been my demo on the RFCrafts bale cutters. Come back again soon and I'll have another video for you, another demo. Bye-bye.